you've seen the headlines or social media posts saying that Trump has announced a permanent immigration ban, I want you to pause for a moment and breathe with me. Because when news like this spreads, fear travels faster than facts. People panic about their green cards, their families, their travel plans, and their future in the United States. Today, we are going to slow this down, separate truth from rumor, and explain clearly what such an announcement really means, and most importantly, what it does and does not mean for green card holders. Welcome back to Legal Focus USA. This channel exists for one reason: to explain U.S. immigration law calmly, accurately, and without unnecessary fear. If English is not your first language, don't worry. I'll explain everything step by step, in plain language, just like I would for my own family. Let's begin with the most important point, because this needs to be very clear. There is no such thing as a permanent immigration ban that can legally erase green cards or cancel lawful permanent resident status overnight. That is not how U.S. law works. So why are people talking about this? Over the years, President Trump has used strong language about immigration. During his previous term, there were travel bans, restrictions on certain visa categories, and stricter enforcement policies. Recently, statements and proposals have resurfaced that use phrases like permanent ban or total shutdown, and these words are causing understandable fear. But words in a speech are not the same as law. In the United States, immigration policy is controlled by a combination of Congress, federal law, and the courts. Even a president does not have unlimited power to ban immigration permanently. Now let's talk about what could realistically happen and what that would mean for green card holders. First, who is a green card holder? A green card holder is a lawful permanent resident. That status is granted under U.S. law. It cannot be taken away just because a new president is elected or because a policy changes. Green card holders have legal rights. They can live and work in the U.S. permanently. They are protected by due process. That means the government must follow legal procedures before taking any action against their status. So if you already have a green card, no announcement alone can cancel it. Now let's talk about where restrictions could happen. If a future administration wanted to limit immigration, the most likely areas would be new applications, not existing green cards. That could include stricter rules for family-based sponsorships, employment-based green cards, refugee admissions, asylum approvals, or certain visa categories. Processing could slow down. Requirements could become stricter. Some programs could be paused or limited. But again, this affects people applying, not people who already hold permanent resident status. Let me give you an example. Imagine Anna, who became a green card holder 5 years ago through marriage. Even if immigration policies become more restrictive, Anna's green card does not disappear. She keeps her status as long as she follows the law, files taxes, and does not abandon her residency. Now imagine Carlos, who is outside the U.S., waiting for a family-based immigrant visa. If new restrictions are introduced, his process could slow down or face new requirements. That is where policy changes are usually felt the most. This difference is very important. Now let's talk about travel, because this is another big fear. During Trump's previous term, some green card holders from certain countries faced extra scrutiny when traveling. In rare cases, people were delayed or questioned at airports. That history makes people nervous. If stricter immigration policies return, green card holders should be more careful with travel, but not afraid. If you are a lawful permanent resident, you generally have the right to return to the U.S. However, long trips outside the U.S., criminal issues, or unresolved immigration problems can create risk. This is true under any administration, not just one. The key is preparation, not panic. Another concern people raise is denaturalization or losing status. Denaturalization applies to U.S. citizens, not green card holders, and it is extremely rare. For green card holders, status can only be taken away through a legal process, usually involving serious crimes, fraud, or abandonment of residency. Policy changes do not automatically trigger these actions. Now let's talk about what permanent ban language often really means. In political messaging, strong words are used to signal tough enforcement or reduced immigration numbers. But permanent bans are not permanent in practice. Laws can be challenged in court. Congress can intervene. Administrations change. Even previous travel bans were modified multiple times and faced legal challenges. So when you hear dramatic language, the right response is not fear, but questions. What exactly is being proposed? Who would it apply to? Has it become law? Has a court reviewed it? Most of the time, the answer is that it is a proposal, not a policy. Now, what should green card holders do right now? First, stay informed, but use reliable sources. Avoid panic-driven social media posts. Second, maintain your status. File taxes, renew your green card on time, and avoid long absences from the U.S. Third, if you are eligible for U.S. citizenship, consider applying. Citizenship provides the strongest protection from future policy changes. Fourth, if you have a complex situation, speak with a qualified immigration attorney before traveling or filing applications. And finally, take care of your mental health. Immigration uncertainty is exhausting. Fear does not mean something bad is happening. It means information is unclear. Let me be very honest with you. Immigration policy in the U.S. can become stricter or looser depending on who is in power. That is reality. But the system does not flip overnight, and lawful permanent residents are not erased by announcements. Your life, your work, and your family are not canceled by a headline. At Legal Focus USA, our promise is to help you understand the law, not scare you. When real changes happen, we will explain exactly what they mean and what steps to take. If this video helped you feel calmer or clearer, please consider subscribing to the channel. We share regular immigration updates and practical legal guidance to help you make informed decisions. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next update.